What's up, Boise State Bronco fans? Welcome on in to another edition of Bronco Nation Live. Hope you're doing well wherever you're watching from tonight. We've got NCAA regionals in gymnastics, beach volleyball returning home after ranked wins, women's tennis on a critical road swing, softball backs at the DLP for some big conference series, and we've got transfer portal news shaking up men's basketball. As always, we're taking your questions, your comments, and your hot takes in the YouTube chat. So let's get into it. I'm Nick Wade, your host. I'm always joined by my co-host Sam Gillette of Sam Talk Sports. What's up, my friend?
Oh, not much, just living the life of portal watcher. Jim Baker, welcome to the show. Go Broncos.
Hi, Jim.
All right. I've talked about this at length. Every show that we do, we've been updating people. The easiest way for people to help when they see people go into the portal and they're saying, "Oh, we can't afford the big guys. We can't afford to bring anybody in. We can't afford to keep anybody around." You can help without having to put any money out of your pocket to help. We've been preaching for the last few months that we need to get to 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Really easy to do. If you don't have an account, the account is really easy to make. It's free, doesn't cost you a dime, and all you have to do is hit that subscribe button. We need 253 more subscribers to reach that 1,000 mark that we have to have, and 4,000 watch hours. We just checked for the show. We're at 2,100. We need 4,000 for the year. And we're at 2,100, and we've had a better January to April than what we had the entire football season. So we are gaining momentum, and we're getting that content out there, and everybody's watching it, and we appreciate every single one of you that do, but we need more. And that is how we monetize the channel, and that monetization goes to the Boise State NIL Fund. That's what we're here for. That's our ultimate goal, but we need you to do it. We can't do it alone. Nick and I have jobs and other things. We can't sit here and watch 4,000 hours of ourselves. That'd be kind of weird if we did. So get your friends, get your family, all Boise State fans, even if they're not just Boise State fans. We do college football roundtable where we cover the entirety of college football. We're about to wrap up. Our last episode is next week, Bourbon Beer and Basketball. We do the Bourbon Beer and Basketball one-on-ones where we break down individual games as well. They're a little shorter than the entire shows. So there's stuff on there. There's content on there. I'm going to be putting together, for those fans of pop, I'm going to be putting together a Pop Pops Off playlist here on the channel. We just heard news where Ryan Day, I haven't verified it yet. It just came across my text messages in our college football group from Todd Talks College Football, also on the College Football Roundtable, where Ryan Day is a pro high school draft for college sports, which if you watch College Football Roundtable, Pop famously was chastised for bringing up a draft like that. So we got some good, insightful content. People might not think it's out there, but it's there. It's for entertainment. We're here for your entertainment. Let's make it happen. I might do some UFL stuff here in the coming weeks. UFL's kicked off last week, so with Bourbon Beer and Basketball winding down and college basketball and college sports in general coming to a close, we need some fresh content. So put in the comments if you like what you see on the channel already. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you want to see. And it doesn't have to be limited to Boise State if it's going to bring in more viewers so that we can hit that 1,000 subscriber mark and 4,000 watch hour mark. It doesn't matter what the content is, as long as it's sports related, we can still put that money into Boise State's nil. So let us know what content you want us to cover in the off season, and what you'll most likely be able to get your friends and family over to subscribe to see.
And don't forget, we're one of the only outlets that dive in personally with some of these athletes. We do spotlights on all the sports. We will be covering a lot of the recruiting trail over the off season, and even in there, we dig in with these commitments and and we like to learn a lot more about them as student athletes. And I'm proud that we're one of the only media outlets that do that on our Blue Turf Talk for the football recruits.
And make sure you hit the subscribe button, because last week I made that impromptu trip over to Fort Worth, pulled the kids out of school so that they could go over. We watched the beach volleyball team take down number 20 Arizona. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. We didn't get to stay for day 2 because we had other things we had to do, but I went live for most of the match points that I could get a camera angle on. So we'll do stuff like that. So make sure you hit subscribe, and then you hit the little bell so you can get notifications when we go live, because there are times where we'll do things on the fly as they come up, and you won't want to miss it, especially if you like commenting and having your comments read on air.
Yep. All for making your questions, comments, and hot takes on the air live. And then with that in mind, wherever you're watching, if you really want to get some visibility, go over to the YouTube channel, get in the chat, and comment there, and then we will air those live during this show and all of our shows. So with that in mind, why don't we start getting into some of these sports, man?
Yeah. Gymnastics. We got some hot gymnastics. Not physical looks hot. I meant they're talent wise. Hitting some main stages this week, huh?
Yep. So Boise State Gymnastics is headed into the NCAA Regional Championship in Corvallis, and 3 Broncos will compete as individuals tomorrow at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. You can catch the coverage live on ESPN Plus, and then you can also get the stats are available free on the app called Vertius. So, well, you had Christina Shenikova, Malia Werline will compete on the bars in regionals, and then Sydney Coe will compete on the beam. Let's just kind of cover these 3 outstanding athletes.
I'm getting some breaking news right now. Pop from Pops Off, he just said that he would like to see Jennifer Lawrence covered on Bronco Nation Live. For those that don't know, Pop doesn't have a YouTube account to post, so he texts me those deals, and I read them on air for him. So there we go. Let's jump back into it. Sorry, I had to get that out there for him. So Shenikova, yeah.
Yep. Hey, I dig Jennifer Lawrence in the Hunger Games, so I hear you, Pop. We'll put a word in for you. So, so yeah. First, we want to take a look at Christina Shenikova. She has been outstanding this whole 2026 season. She earned her first career bars title on February 6th with a 9.875. She posted a career best of 9.925 on the bars at Cal. And then that was Boise State's top routine of the year. She hit a 9.9 on the floor and won a share of the beam title with a 9.850. And she was the only Bronco with event titles in multiple events this season. Bars NQSs of 9.850 and tied for team lead and 5th in the Mountain West. She's one of just 3 gymnasts in the conference with a 9.9 plus in 3 different events this year. So we talked about her in the preview leading into the season. We had high expectations for her, and she obviously delivered on those, and she's heading to Corvallis for regionals.
All right. Someone that's an up and coming for Boise State. Oh geez. I had the name and then it just went away. The one that does the all around. Ray.
Oh,
right?
Maria. Yeah. Right. Ray. Yep.
Yeah. She you say that Shenikova was the only one with multiple titles or with a title in multiple events this season. But I mean, Ray, she had the all around title, and that's multiple events, right?
Technically, yeah. Yep. for people like us, yeah.
Rick Fielder, yes, we are going to be talking basketball transfers a little bit later on in the show. Just stick around. We're going to get through some gymnastics here and some beach volleyball. Then we'll get to some basketball.
Thanks for joining us, Rick. And then next is Malia Werline, and honestly, we didn't talk a lot about her in the preview, but as the season went, her name and her performances kept coming up towards the top. And then so she enters the regionals on a streak of 7 straight bar routines of 9.825 or better. Just like I said, it started out, the team overall kind of struggled. They're a younger team. But as the season grew, she's one of those names that kept climbing and climbing and climbing. She posted a career high 9.90 on March 13th. And then she had NQSs of 9.85, and that tied for the team lead. She has competed in every bars lineup since joining the program. So that's 37 routines. So, kind of like what we see in basketball with the basketball team and some of these other teams that go into like postseason. You really want to start peaking towards the end. And that's really what she did. And then that earned her spot on the bars in regionals. So congratulations, Malia. And then last but not least, we had Sydney Coe on the beam. She's been rock solid on the beam all year round. I know she got a specialist of the week at least one time for Mountain West. She was honored for her beam routine. She has had 7 straight beam routines of 9.8 or greater. And then she also posted her career best 9.9 at the Juggernaut Stanford that meet. So, and then she won a share of the beam title as well on March 13th. And she has a team high beam NQS of 9.845. And she has appeared in nearly every vault lineup of her career. That's 45 routines. So basically you have 3 athletes, 3 legitimate chances to advance. And this is a strong group heading into Corvallis.
Yeah, we've watched more gymnastics this year than I've ever watched. Not because of anything other than, I'm a dude. I'm sorry, gymnastics wasn't something that I actively followed. And then the girls liked it, so started following, and then so it's fun to watch. Especially whenever until you get to the points where you're like, how is that not a perfect score? And you realize you don't actually know what you're talking about. But something I do know a little bit about what I'm talking about is track and field. I did run track and field in high school. Boise State Track and Field is opening the 2026 outdoor season with competitions in California and Nevada, getting valuable early reps against strong fields as the program transitions from indoor to outdoor. After sending 2 runners to the nationals with Brandon Helms and Kaya Robertson. I remembered him. But yeah, this is opening weekend. It's less about chasing marks and more about establishing an outdoor rhythm, getting the athletes comfortable across longer meet formats, and identifying where growth can happen over the next 6 weeks. For a program coming off multiple All-American indoor performances, this is a reset phase. The question I'm going to leave you with, how much of an outdoor season is about peaking and how much is about patience? Because outdoor success isn't built in April. It's revealed in May. So we're going to be following the track program and kind of giving you kind of who's on the rise, who needs to kick it in gear. And hopefully we get some more national qualifiers come May.
Really excited for them to get into the outdoor. I know that for them, they've been itching to be able to compete outdoors. I know for me, I prefer running outside rather than being on the treadmill or indoor. So I bet you they're super excited. I'm super excited for them, and they've been really doing awesome even in the indoor season. And so really pumped for our guy Chase Lawyer, the fab freshman in the hurdles. Been seeing a lot of some hype videos from Boise State and seeing him getting in some hurdles. So excited to see what's in store for him in this outdoor season and the rest of the Broncos. I just got an affinity for Chase because he was on one of our Bronco talk shows, and he also he helped us out with one of our outreaches for Christmas. So. Yep. All right. Next, we're going to talk some beach volleyball. Boise State beach volleyball continues to rise, and in the national polls are taking notice. They were just honored with the. They were ranked number 20 in the ABCA yesterday. The Broncos earned 2 ranked wins in their Big 12 debut. They defeated number 18 Arizona and number 20 South Carolina. And that performance helped launch Boise State into that national rankings, one of the highest placements in program history. Actually, the first time they've ever been ranked in the ABCA, making history. The number 2 pair, Ava Anderson and Addison Walden continues to dominate. And if you haven't already, go watch our Bronco Talk Show with Ava and Addie on the Bronco Nation Updates YouTube channel. Awesome show. I really enjoyed that one. How about you, man?
Yeah, it was fun talking to him. I hated I didn't get to talk to him at the meet, but where I was at and able to record from, they were on the opposite side, and it was cold and rainy, and the kids, and it just didn't work out. But I tried. I wanted to ask them if they're because they had really good matches that first day, and a cold front came through. I blame them for bringing it down from Idaho with them, but that's okay. But they started off dominant against number 5 Florida State, and I believe they actually won the first set. They either won the first set or the second set, but they made it to the third set, and they made it competitive. But that third set, they just couldn't get it done. Same thing against number 20 Arizona. They didn't actually need the win to get the victory over Arizona, though, so it wasn't as heartbreaking there, losing the third set. But I was trying to get to them to ask to let them know that it really doesn't matter that one of you likes pineapple on pizza and one of you doesn't, because your team. Don't let that ruin you in the third set. But I couldn't get to them to do that, but it's all right. I still had fun. The kids had fun. If you haven't been to a beach volleyball game, Nick, where can they see the next one?
Tomorrow, they're right there in on campus at the sand pits. So make sure you get there. The Boise State Beach Classic starts tomorrow, and it runs through Saturday. Also, there is our other superstar from the Netherlands, Serena Vandermeij, another great Bronco talk. Make sure to check that one out on our YouTube channel. Yep. Her and Allison Walden have also been doing awesome. They've gone a couple weekends undefeated against and got some ranked wins as well. But yeah, we were making history. This program is holding its own in the brand, since it stepped into the Big 12 for this is their first season, and they're actually 9-11 overall. And check this out: 9 of those losses are against ranked Power 4 schools, and then they're 2-1 in the Big 12. So a really good start in the Big 12 era for them.
Yeah. And talking about Serena Vandermeij, she actually, I believe, scored the game-winning point, the match-winning point, put Boise State up 3-1 before Ava and Addie lost on the middle court. but great performance all the way around. They got swept by Florida State that morning, and to come back after being swept to get that ranked win over Arizona, great. And then the next day they got almost the same formula. I didn't get to watch it, but I did read up on it. They got swept by number 7 TCU, and then turn around and beat number 19 at the time, South Carolina. So great weekend last weekend. Looking forward to what they do this weekend and what they continue to do as Big 12 play comes on.
Yeah. So this weekend they'll be hosting Oregon, UTEP, and also CSUN, Cal State of Northridge. So make sure you check that out. Now the Broncos they're returning home. They with ranked wins, national momentum, and home court advantage. This team is rolling.
Yes. You know who else is rolling?
Who's rolling?
The men's tennis team. Boise State men's tennis continues to stack results, and this time it came down to clutch play. Stuart Aronson delivered the match-clinching point, sealing another Boise State victory and reinforcing what has been the theme all season, depth and composure. This team doesn't rely on one hero. They rely on consistent doubles points, calm late-match single play, and trust up and down the lineup. When multiple players are comfortable closing matches, Nick, does pressure actually shift to the opponent? I mean, that's kind of in beach volleyball and tennis, regular volleyball. I mean, you get that when you get comfortable late, your opponent can't ever think they have it in the bag. And this is true in softball too. Whenever they had their run at the start of the season, where like 90% of their points came after the 5th inning. So you get that kind of late game composure, and your opponents can't relax late game. They have to be on their toes the entire time, and it really keeps the pressure on them. And Boise State keeps proving it can win in different ways.
It reminds me of Federer when he was in his prime. He looked so calm, so collected, would just rake in the titles, almost like he wasn't even trying. He was so comfortable.
Yeah. Yep. Women's tennis suffered their first loss since January 30th. That's a long time. Following 4-3 to UNLV in a rematch last year's Mountain West Championship. They earned single wins from Allison Isaacs, Paula Schaefer, and Carla Grignac. Isaacs has now won 11 straight at the number 4 spot in singles, improving to 132. Grignac is at 101 this spring. Schaefer has won her last 2 completed matches. Despite the loss, the Broncos remain one of the top teams in conference, and nationally, they're ranked 58 in the ITA and 44 in the UTR. So they got one of the highest combined rankings in program history. But now they're on a road swing here in April. In fact, I have to look. Do you have San Jose State scores? They're at San Jose State and at Fresno State.
Yep. We'll get to it as soon as you finish up where we're at, and then I do have the update for that.
All right. San Jose State still searching for its first conference win. Fresno State has historically been a tough matchup, but Boise State swept them 4-0 last year in the quarterfinals of the Mountain West tournament. Head coach Beck Rog, I can't ever say his last name. Coach Beck continues to make history. He became the program's all-time winningest coach earlier this season and enters the weekend at 189 career wins. Before this road trip, we dropped a brand new Bronco talk with Zadina Safarova. Go watch it now on Bronco Nation Updates YouTube channel. Had fun talking with Zadina, even though Nick couldn't get her name out a couple times. that ZD gets you every time, man.
Yeah, I mean, and we were pushing the clock because she needed to get back to class, and that didn't help me. Trying to just push that out as fast as I could. I just couldn't do it, man.
Yeah. This road trip will shape the Mountain West standings, and Boise State is right in the hunt. not just for the Mountain West, but they got national title aspirations as well.
Yep. And yeah, pushing out that Bronco talk did give me an opportunity. Coach Beck reached out to us, and he wants to come on one of those shows, and then we'll also get some of the other stars on the program on a future Bronco talk. But speaking of the San Jose, the women's tennis, they returned to the column after that heartbreaker in UNLV. So they responded exactly how you'd hope. After their tough loss to UNLV, the Broncos returned to the win column, reasserting control and showing why they remain one of the top teams in the Mountain West. That bounce back matters, not just in the standings, but mentally. We talked to Zadina about that.
Yeah.
And if you want even more deeper insight on how that that mental and emotional kind of roller coaster that they go through after a tough loss, watch the Bronco Talk with Zadina Safarova. Like Sam said, it's live right now on our Bronco Nation Updates YouTube channel. That conversation gives you a clear look at leadership, accountability, and how the team handles adversity. So here's a thought to sit with. Is the mark of a great team how long it goes unbeaten, or how it responds once that streak ends?
Definitely how it responds. And you know how I know that?
How do you know that?
LaSalle, the streak. You know, they made a movie about it, Coach Lassiter. They lost the streak, and the team went through some adversity, but they came back and they ended up doing great things. So it's how you recover. It's not how you fall. So the men's and women golf, they're at the Genesis Invitational Collegiate Showcase. Once again on the national stage as Chase Gorder and Reese Knox compete in the 2026 Genesis Invitational Collegiate Showcase in Blue Jack National, or at Blue Jack National, I should say, in Texas. No, I was not able to get out to that one, or not going to be able to get out to it. This event matters a lot. Only 18 collegiate golfers are selected. The winner earns an exemption into the PGA Tour event. The Carlos, I'm not going to Punta Cana. Punta Cana. Is that how you say it? I don't know why you give me all the hard names.
It's fun.
The CPC. Boise State is one of just 3 programs with multiple competitors this year. Only 18 get selected, and Boise State has 2. That's tells you how good their golf program is. Boise State has won this event back-to-back years. Cole Ruick is the only 2-time champion in event history. That doesn't happen by accident. So think about this. When a program repeatedly sends players into professional level environments, how does that change internal expectations for everyone else? Whenever you have these Olympic sports and golf and tennis and all that, doing national level athletics and competing on the biggest stages, it's going to push your softballs. It's going to push your basketballs. It's going to push your footballs and volleyballs and beach volleyballs and all that. They're all going to want to get better to come up with those. And
yeah, I would think it pushes personal accountability within the program, and also pushes that example out for the rest of the programs, and people who are in sports, people who love sports, we're all competitive, and you see that, you see people winning the shiny things, and guess what?
You want to beget
shiny things. Yep.
All right. Boise State already has 2 team champions already secured. Back in action April 6 through 7, 6 and 7, I should say, at the UC Santa Barbara Intercollegiate. Nick, what's that number on the notes? My dash disappeared. The record, the golf record.
Oh, Boise State Golf owns a 72, 43, and 3 record this season.
Okay. Yeah, and mine, all the dashes are missing, and I don't know why. So that says 72,433. So I knew that wasn't it. For the women's golf, Boise State hosts Idaho in the State of Idaho match, continuing a tradition that's as much about pride as it is about competition. Matches like this don't always grab national headlines, but they matter internally. How much confidence, Nick, does winning close to home battles build for postseason play before postseason play even begins, especially an in-state rival?
Well, I mean, there's a thing about and I think it holds true in all the sports, especially when it comes to basketball. Is championship teams win home matches, games, whatever, and there's even more on the line when it's an in-state rival. You want to tell the whole state who is the best in the state, and that's us, the Boise State Broncos.
Yep. Well, Nick, what do you say we take a quick break here and come back and talk softball and what everyone's hanging around to hear about all the basketball drama?
Certainly.
When it comes to painting, precision matters. Crosby Custom Coatings, led by Scott Crosby since 1979, delivers elite craftsmanship for homes and businesses across Boise. With attention to detail and a commitment to excellence, they make every surface shine. Call Crosby Custom Coating today at 208-370-4696 and bring color and quality to your world. That's 208-370-4696.
We have
we're back.
We've got a golf comment from Pop. Says the Boise area has the finest collection of courses of anywhere in the nation. So
they are really nice. And I wouldn't even want to guess how hard it is to keep the greens green during the winter months here in Idaho. So
yeah,
but yeah, they do a great job. I run through warm strings just about every day when I'm running, and it's a nice run. It's really pretty there. All right, let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little softball. Why don't we? Softball returns home after a dramatic series at Colorado State. In game one, Boise State, right now, Boise State is sitting at 18-20 overall with a 4-5 conference record. Softball in game one in Fort Collins, Boise State absolutely routed Colorado State 13-2 in 6 innings. They got that run rule. Holly Farmer, she had a killer game. That bat was hot. She had a career high 5 RBI. And then Skylar Stroh, we had her on a Bronco Talk earlier in the season. She's still rolling. She had 2 RBIs. She's leading the team in RBIs with 34, I believe. And then Lula Ray McNamara, she won in relief with 3 strikeouts and no hits allowed, and that kind of capped off the week that she had running up there. So she ended that calendar week with 3 wins and 2 saves. Yes, and 2 saves. I think I spoke about this last Bronco Nation Live. She's the first pitcher since 2020 to get back-to-back saves and a doubleheader when she did that against Sac State last week. Game 2, Colorado State came back and they won the game 6-3. Maya Flint hit her team-leading 8th home run. Sofia Romero had 2 hits. But the Broncos stranded runners in scoring position in 4 of those innings. So you're not going to do very well when you do that. And then game 3 was a heartbreaker. Boise State led 6-2 before Colorado State walked it off with a 3-run home run shot in the bottom of the 7th. Game over, series over. That went to Colorado State. They won 7-6. Marissa Gonzalez went 2 for 4 with the RBI triple, and Stroh had two RBI in that game. So now the Broncos return home for a 3-game series versus New Mexico, and they're actually in action right now as we speak. Right now they're down 4-0 to New Mexico in the bottom of the 6th. So,
hey, their bats come hot late.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're in. They got them right where they want them. Boise State is tied for 5th, 1 game behind CSU and UNLV, and 2 behind Nevada. The top 6 qualify for the Mountain West postseason championship. So it's really important that they stay and maintain in the top 6 so that they can get into that tournament. If they're not going to win the regular season championship, they want to get into that tournament.
And like
so far,
like the oh geez, sorry. Our softball team, like our geez, why am I drawing a blank? I had it in my head, Nick. What are you doing to me? Hold on, we'll get there. Gymnastics, there it is. Jeez, sorry, it's been a long day. Softball, like gymnastics, they are a young team as well. So there's only way to go is up for them.
Right. Yeah, and we covered that in the preview with both with Coach Schultz and Bronco legend Kenzie Hanna. High turnover, not only in the roster but also coaches. So they're working their way through this young team. So far, the season leaders are LuLaRae McNamara leads the entire NCAA with 30 pitching appearances as a freshman. That's awesome, outstanding. Skylar Stroh leads the team with 34 RBI, and Justice Schultz is at 160 career wins, only 14 away from becoming the winningest coach in program history. So, again, update now is New Mexico's up 4-0 on Boise State. You got 2 outs, a runner on second in the bottom of the 6th. Boise State that bat. So this homestand is crucial. Every game matters for seeding, and every series matters. And we really need the Broncos to, if they do lose this game, just win the series. And I think the main goal is try to win every series that you're in. And if you do that, you got a great chance at a regular season championship, or at least getting into the Mountain West championships in the postseason.
All right. So now the moment that a lot of you have been waiting on, the men's basketball transfer portal. You expect it out of the football program because it's big, it's national, it's everybody wants Boise State players because Boise State is a big developmental program. They develop the chip on their shoulder guys into NFL athletes, but you don't expect it out of the basketball team, especially where Boise State's not known as a basketball school for the most part. But the transfer portal is going to continue to reshape Boise State men's basketball this year. 3 major contributors have now entered the portal: Drew Fielder, Javan Buchanan, and Andrew Meadow. Significant departures. Fielder was a leading scorer, Buchanan a rising star, and Meadow was a key rotational piece. So the big question everyone is asking, why? Nil, coaching, team chemistry, donor investment, or is it simply the new reality of college basketball? I have my thoughts. I know a lot of people are saying it's coaching. Even in the middle of the season, I thought there was something that happened in the locker room after the San Diego State loss. I think something was said, something wrong was said, and they tried to overcome it throughout the year just to get through, get by, and then go their own ways afterwards. That's just my unbiased and have no idea what's going on in the locker room opinion. But I just think since San Diego State, something happened. That's my personal opinion. Something happened in the locker room after that game, and I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't positioned around someone saying, "You're getting all this money. Why did you miss this shot? Or why did you play this poor? Or why did you throw the ball away? Or something along those lines." That's just me, though. The truth is probably a combination of all of it, though. Money, coaching, chemistry, investment, and the new reality of college basketball. Boise State has been consistent NCAA has been a consistent NCAA tournament program, but the portal era rewards programs with deep NIL resources and aggressive donor backing. The staff now has multiple scholarships to fill, and the next month will be crucial. I know there's a lot of talent out there sitting on benches, and I hope the coaching staff can go and pick those people up, say, hey, yeah, you can make more money over here, but you're going to play over here and then make even more money later. So hopefully Buchanan and Andrew Meadow and Drew Fielder, they get a bag wherever they're going to go so that we can pull some of those bench players. Say, hey, look, these guys got paid. They made the leap. Come here, let us play you for a couple of years, and then go get paid. Maybe we can work ourselves into a consistent NCAA tournament program until the time comes where the other schools are the ones coming and poaching our bench because we're at a level that's up there that the people don't want to leave. The roster you see today will not be the roster you see in June, and that's okay. So, that's just the era that we live in now. It's time to accept it. And if you want your favorite player to stay, but you can't donate to the NIL Fund, there is a very easy way to do it. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel and watch the show. Everything that we make once this channel gets monetized goes to the NIL. We do have a pop comment. The portal creates uncoachable prima donnas. So there you go.
And you know what? I think, all the questions that were posed, and even that, I think the answer is yes, right? It could be all of those. And even, and all of it's speculation too. Only the players know, why they make the decisions they do. I do want to say that for Drew and Javan and Andrew and even RJ, I wish them the best, and I hope that their dreams come true. I hope that they land somewhere that's a great fit for them. They're happy. I hope above all else, I hope they're happy, and I hope that they get an opportunity to fulfill their dreams. But I will say this, and something that really drives me crazy, and that's for anybody who thinks they're in the know, whether that's the media or people who are close to the team, only the player knows why they make that decision, right? Only the player does. And basically, other than that, everybody's speculating, and that's fine. It's okay. As long as you're being respectful and you have your own opinion, that's great. But what drives me nuts is the ivory towers there that poo-poo people who have a thought. Until you're in that player's mind, just let people talk about and speculate, because actually what happens from speculation is actually real concrete ideas come out of that, and that's where you get some of the best ideas to grow programs, to fundraise and stuff like that. But if you have the media players in there trolling fans and telling them that they're wrong when they themselves are basically speculating because they're not in the minds of the student athletes. Okay. So as fans, that's what part of the sport that makes us love is you get to speculate and you don't know, but as long as you're as long as a fan is respectful and stuff, there's nothing wrong with speculating on what's going wrong. Is it not a mesh with the coaching staff? It could be. Was the chemistry not right? Could be. But for anybody to say no, that's not it. That's the end all be all. I just think that that's wrong, and that goes against a person's right to express their opinion and all that. And with that, I will digress. And again, I just wish Drew and Javan.
Just to add on to the conversation a little, if you're going to call out a story or call out a breaking news segment, and you just say sources say or something like that, we know it's just speculation. Unless you cite your source, it's just speculation. I don't ever post anything if I can't back it up with a link somewhere. I'll post opinions all day long, but I won't post it as fact unless I have a way to back it up. So that's just where I'm at. But I do want to ask you this. Do you think that the bleeding is over with these three gone and RJ, or is there going to be more to come?
I believe in Murphy's Law. What can happen will happen, and so I think that the next piece, the biggest piece, is Peanut, and so it wouldn't surprise me if he's the next to go. Frankly, I wasn't surprised that Meadow went, just because from the place we're at Bronco Nation Updates, we see their social media, and he had his production crew, and you can read the tea leaves and stuff like that. I will say I haven't seen anything that would lead me to think that Peanut, the odds of him leaving are greater or not, because I really haven't seen anything from his camp. But just the environment of collegiate sports is I think anything's possible. So it wouldn't surprise me if he bounced, but it wouldn't surprise me if he stayed either. But I think that would probably be the next piece. But I do think that Spencer Aarons and Bun Bum and AG Neto have a really good opportunity in front of them, and I'd really like to see them stick around, and they could be some really great Broncos if they take advantage of this opportunity. It's right in front of them. I mean, it's just been gifted to them, and I think I would actually like to see the Broncos build around Spencer Aarons. I saw a lot of promise in him in his freshman year, and I think he's going to be awesome.
I'm going to do my best accent here because Pop says something. The portal is the devil. Don't you go to that portal, Bobby Boucher. But my papa says the portal is the devil.
It giveth and it taketh away. But I do want to tell Drew and Javan and Andrew and RJ, sincerely, I hope that you make your dreams come true. I hope you make a lot of money, and you can go just as far as your effort takes you. And I think it's actually going to go a long ways, because they are hard workers, and I think that they're going to be very successful.
Yep. We've got 23 days till we get to see some live action, right, Nick?
Yes, sir.
What are we talking about? 23 days? Well, spring game, April 25th.
Yep. So we'll wrap up tonight with football. Football is in full swing behind the scenes with fundamental drills, positional battles, and roster evaluation underway. So right now they're looking at those roster evaluations, the position battles, the culture setting. And this is where roles are clarified and expectations are quietly set. I know it's really early, and I try not to speculate, on what's going on in spring camp, because really you've got the early freshmen and you got the transfer prospects just getting their feet wet here in Boise. So maybe the most important question of all is how many seasons are shaped long before the first kickoff ever arrives. And and that a lot of these players, especially the young freshmen, are here early. They played a lot of seasons to get to this point. So, it's more important for them in this spring camp, but we'll keep tracking it, and we'll have more information as the spring progresses. I will say that just from what I'm seeing, Rayshawn Jones is having a heck of a from what I've seen from Boise State's media. He's the wide receiver from Baker, who went to high school at Columbia, I believe, or Rocky Mountain. He's having a heck of a spring camp, and then
he's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, he's I believe he's 6'1", 199, so pretty good sized receiver, and that's kind of one of the roles that we need to kind of develop and get better at. So what are you looking at? What are you looking for during spring camp, and that's going to come out of this?
I think that if the coaches are going to regain the trust of the casual fan, that they should have, if it's not already ongoing. Obviously, I'm not up there. I don't get to go watch and see things, but a true quarterback competition. If a true quarterback competition doesn't come out of spring ball, then I don't know. I don't think you'll be able to stop the fire Coach D chance by opening weekend if we start losing. So that if there's a true quarterback competition and Mad Dog ends out on top, then I think if it's not the season we thought it will be or was going to be, then we give them another year. But if there's not a true quarterback competition and we fall flat like we did in games last year, then it's going to be hard pressed. He may be on the hot seat before conference play.
And I'm working on a really good, long article addressing kind of those aspects about, and that's why I don't really put a lot into like spring camp and stuff. I really start ramping up on, analysis and, my opinion based on what I'm seeing more when they get into the fall camp, right? But I will be working on a really in-depth article, probably 3,000 words, based on the culture part of it. And believe I probably will name this article Earned, Not Given. And so I think that, yes. And that's just a culture shift, because now in college football, these guys are pros. I mean, they're student athletes, yes, but they're pros, and they are 18 to 23 years old, but also they're getting paid to play a sport, and so you kind of have to switch your mindset from where where it used to be just even like 4 years ago. It's changed dramatically, and we're a mid-major, so things have to be. Sometimes you have to go back to propel the program to the future, and that's through hard work. And I'm going to be writing about that. I do want to share that I've seen a lot of great highlights from Kyle Hall. He's the transfer from San Mateo Community College. They took back-to-back championships. He's got good size, and he's doing awesome as a DB from some of the the reels I've seen coming out of the Boise State camp. So I'm excited about Kyle Howell right now. Again, I'm not going to speculate. I'll take in everything from the spring game, and the spring game is on April 25th on a Saturday, and the kickoff is at 1:30 p.m. Free parking. So if you want to see the blue and orange put together, we'll be covering it as we always do every year. You're going to get those same kind of updates that you do with all the games and all the programs.
How about we sell out the spring game? We want to be a power program. Let's go ahead and sell out the spring game. I mean, it's an afternoon on a Saturday. I mean, it's not a night game. It's not late. It's not cold. Sell out a spring game. Show.
It shouldn't be hard to do. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be hard to do. It's free.
Yeah. Show. Yeah. Right. Show Jeremiah Dickey that the fans want to be there, and yeah. I mean, has Boise State ever had a sellout? Obviously, because it's free. But have they ever packed a spring game? Standing room only?
I haven't seen it packed for a while. But yeah, I would love to see it packed like the Alabamas and all the other.
You want to be a Power 4 program? You got to start acting like one. It starts with a fan base. A lot of people say, "Oh no, it starts with coaching and players." Like, no. The fans is what players want to play for. If there ain't fans there to play for, then they ain't coming, no matter how good your coach is.
Yep. Look at basketball.
Yep. Look at LSU. Horrible in football this year. Not horrible, but they weren't great, and they still sell out. So,
yep.
You want to be a power program? You got to start acting like power program fans.
Well, we're going to wrap this up. Gymnastics is at the regionals. Again, starting tomorrow. Beach volleyball hosting the Boise State Beach Classic tomorrow. Women's tennis is on the road. They'll be playing Fresno State tomorrow. And softball is back home. One final update on that softball that's going on right now. New Mexico's up 6-0 in the bottom of the 7th. Broncos are up to bat. And plenty of news coming out of basketball. The transfer portal opens officially next week. So got a massive week ahead of us. We'll have all of your reviews next Thursday, as we always do on Bronco Nation Live. So that's going to do it for this week's Bronco Nation Live. Thanks for tuning into the show. It's a privilege for us to serve you. So please go subscribe to the Bronco Nation Updates YouTube channel. And for all your Boise State updates and recruiting news, check us out on BroncoNationUpdates.com. We'll see you next time. Take care. Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Community matters, and Blue Elevation proves it. Partnering with Boise State athletes, we bring joy to families in need. Like our Christmas on the Blue Outreach, blessing children from the Boise Rescue Mission. Together with Bronco Nation, we spread cheer, hope, and support at home and abroad. Blue Elevation, where community and compassion meet. Give at BroncoNationUpdates.com/become.